Hey guys, I wanted to go over the 7.2 video with you guys. So let me pull up PowerPoint real quick. All right, so 7.1 went over simple interest, compound interest, future value, present value, and 7.2 is going to be on consumer loans. This is on page 390 in your book, and there's just a couple of formulas that we're going to go over, but it's probably some formulas that maybe you didn't really know about or haven't really used, but they're also very important. So the first formula is called the add-on interest method, and so you're adding interest due to doing the loan before determining what the payments are. So the formula for that is you would determine what your monthly payment would be with the interest. So what you would have to do is you would take your amount of your loan, so your principal, plus the amount of interest that's due on the loan divided by the number of monthly payments that you're going to have. So let's say you want to take a loan out for 2 years. When you divide it by that number, you're not going to divide it by 2. You're going to divide it by the monthly payments that you would have. And so how many months are in a year? There's 12 months in a year, and 2 years would make 24 months. So let's look at an example of this real quick. And I'm going to, let's pull this up. Do this color. All right. So you have a new pair of speakers for your home theater that costs $820. And if you're going to take out an add-on loan for 2 years at an annual interest rate of 19%, what will be your monthly payment? Okay, so let's fill in what we know. We know that we have a cost of $820, so that's going to be your P. So $820 is your P. We're taking out a loan for 2 years. Okay. So remember T, we don't really use T here, but we're going to have to use it for the original formula because we still have to use your simple interest formula here first to find out how much interest we're going to pay on the loan. Because remember the formula is your amount plus your interest divided by N. And N is your monthly, how much monthly we're going to have here. All right, and then we have a rate of 19%. Okay, so first of all, we're going to need to find the interest on this. So I do your principal, which is your $820, times your interest rate. Remember, we have to change this to a decimal, so we move it 2 places to the left. So it's 0.19, and out of 2 years. Okay, and when we do that, we can input that on the calculator. 820 times 0.19 times 2, and we get $311.60. Okay, so that's how much interest we're going to pay on the loan for 2 years. So then we have to fill in this formula from knowing that. So we have 820 plus 311.60, and now we're going to divide it by how many months we have here. So 2 years. How many months are in 2 years? Well, I know there's 12 months in a year, so 2 years would be 12 times 2, which equals 24 months. So we're going to take that and we're going to divide it by 24. So remember, we do the top first, and then we end up dividing by 24, and we should get $47.50. So we would make a monthly payment of $47.15 on this. All right, here's another one. We have a TV that costs $550. We want to take on add-on loan here for 1.5 years. And we have a rate of 16%. Okay, we want to know what will be your monthly payment. And that tells you right there that you need to use this formula, okay? And also add-on. When you see that add-on loan, that tells you need to use the add-on formula. Okay, so again, the first thing we need to do is we need to find that interest, okay? And remember, interest is P times R times T. And so we just fill it in, 550 times 0.16 times 1.5 years. Okay, so I'm going to enter that in the calculator. And we get $132. Okay, so that's the amount of interest. And now we can fill in our add-on formula. So our P here is 550 plus 132 divided by, now again, monthly, this is monthly, okay? So we're looking at 1.5 years. So again, there's 12 months in a year. Now, how many months are in half a year? Well, that would be 6, right? So 12 plus 6 equals 18. So that's 18 months. And when we do that, we do 550 plus 132 on the top first, and then you divide it by 18, and we would end up with a monthly payment of $37.89. Okay, so I hope this one makes sense to you guys. All right, the last formula we're going to do here is called the unpaid balance method. If you look in your book, there's also something called the average daily balance method. We're just going to focus on the unpaid balance method, so just don't worry about the average daily balance formula, which is the last one at the end of this section. So we're just going to worry about this one. So this is something that you would use to compute the finance charge on a credit card loan, and I know several of you probably have credit cards, but this is kind of how it helps you figure out what your charge would be for that credit card loan. You're still going to end up using your simple interest formula in this, but you're also have something different going on with your p-value here. So your previous method's balance of the credit card, so what was your last month's credit card bill, plus your finance charge. Now your finance charge is still using that I equals PRT here, okay? That's where your interest comes from, plus how many purchases were made that month. And then you have to take away any returns, so something that you sent back, you have to take that away, and also a payment that you made, okay? So obviously, you're going to subtract those two. Again, here the variable R is your annual interest rate, and T here is always going to be 1 out of 12 because we're talking about a monthly balance, okay? So T here every time is going to be 1 out of 12. Okay. All right, so let's look at our problem. Assume that you have an annual interest rate on your credit card that's 18%, and your unpaid balance at the beginning of the last month was $600. Since then, you have purchased ski boots for $130 and sent in a payment of $170. First, we want to find the unpaid balance. What is your credit card bill this month? Okay. So let's kind of figure out what we're given. All right, we're given your R is 18%, and we already know that T is 1 out of 12, right? And we're given a unpaid balance beginning of the month was $600. So I'm going to say unpaid balance here, $600. We then purchased ski boots. Ski boots is going to be $130, and we made a payment of $170. Now notice we don't have any returns, so I'm going to put 0 for that. Okay, so the only thing missing here is my finance charge, and I need to figure out what that's going to be. Okay, so again, to do that, we're still going to use your I equals PRT here. Our amount here for P is what our beginning of our last month was, so we're finding the interest on that amount. That's 600. Our rate is 0.18, and we're still using that 1 out of 12 here. Okay. And so when we end up putting that in the calculators, we end up getting an interest of $9. So this is your finance charge, okay? Your finance charge is going to end up being $9. All right. So now what we have to do is we need to figure out our P, okay? And so to do that, we can go back and look again. P is the previous month's balance of the credit card plus the finance charge, plus any purchases made, and then you have to subtract your returns and your payments, okay? So again, $600 is our previous month's balance plus the finance charge, which is $9, plus any purchases made, which is $130. And then we subtract your returns, which was $0 here, and a payment that we made, which is $170. When we say payments, that's what we sent in $170 to try to get our balance better. And when we do that, we end up with $569. Okay, so that's our unpaid balance. Okay, what is your credit card bill this month? That's $569. Now it wants to know what is your finance charge for next month. So to figure out next month's finance charge, we're still going to use this formula again. So we'd use let's write over here. I equals 569, which is our monthly, plus our rate, 0.18 here, and then our 1/12 per time. Okay, and when you do that, I would do this 1/12 on the calculator first. So get that number, 1/12, multiply it by 0.18, then multiply it by 569, and you should end up with a finance charge of $8.54. Okay. So I hope this, guys, will help you on the questions that I will be asking. And so far we've done several formulas. We have about, let's see, we had 3 from the first section and then 2 from this section. We've done about 5 formulas so far. And the future value formula you can also use for the present value formula. Please email me if you have any questions, and make sure you show your work for the questions for this week's work. All right, thank you.